I'm Lori Gelman for Howdini.com, and if you're already excited about this magical castle cake, then I hereby declare that you too can make this in your kitchen. And we're going to find out how to make this cake for a boy or a girl. To show us how, we turn to our friend Leave Hansen for the Betty Crocker Kitchens. Hey, Leave, how are you?
Hi, Lori.
Now that is a very impressive looking cake.
Well, thank you.
But complicated if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, if you take it step by step, you can do it.
I believe you. Step one, let's go.
Okay, well, you're going to need 4 8-inch square cakes. And I've chilled these in the freezer for about 30 minutes so that they're not going to have as many crumbs when we cut them.
Okay.
Now, to make your tiers of your castle more level, I recommend cutting off the domes on your cake. Okay? So I'm going to use a serrated knife and go ahead and do that. Then I'm going to use about 1/3 of a cup and scoop it right on top. Then I'm going to spread it evenly. So now that that's done, I'm going to take the next cake, invert it, and put it right on top and try to center it. And again, another 1/3 of a cup. Okay, and we're going to do one more layer.
Ooh,
nice and tall.
Good.
Okay, and you can push it down a little bit to try to make it more level. Now this one, we're going to cut into quarters. I'm going to put a little dollop of frosting, spread it a little bit, and that'll be the glue for starting the next tier of the castle.
Ah.
And just repeat that. Okay, and we're just going to use one more layer on top. Now we're going to cut this one in quarters again to get about 2-inch squares.
Are we going up even higher?
We're going to do a 3rd tier.
Oh.
And we're just going to do 2 for that. So now we're ready to do a crumb coat.
What's a crumb coat?
A crumb coat is basically a thin layer of frosting that we spread over the entire cake, and that will seal in some of the crumbs so that your final coat is nice and clean. And I've actually have one ready to go that we can start doing the final coat on.
Great. I'll move this. You get that.
Great. Thank you.
That looks fancy already.
Yeah, for a little grander presentation, we put it on a pedestal.
That looks great.
Great. So now we're going to start the final coat.
How pristine do you have to be with this?
Now, as close as you can to get a flat finish, the better. I just like to get all the icing on first, and then I'll try to flatten it out. So now I have this lip of icing, and I'm going to start to slice it off, running my spatula in. Don't start on your cake.
Inside.
You want to start from outside and slice it in and over. So now it's the fun part. We get to start decorating.
Oh, great. I mean, it looks good enough already, but okay, let's do it.
I have a plate of sanding sugar here. This is pink sanding sugar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these ice cream cones, ice them in the pink frosting, and you're going to roll it in the sanding sugar to get a nice glistening effect.
Sanding sugar you can buy at the grocery store?
You can.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to put it here, and you could just put your fingers in and roll it around.
Okay.
And I'll start the next one. You're going to need 5 of these. Okay, so now we're ready to put them on the castle.
Is there a trick?
Well, basically, I would put your fingers in here and then hold at the top and just balance it very gently and place it on. And just sort of push it in a little bit to the icing to make sure it adheres. Great. And 1 for the top.
Beautiful.
Okay. So now we're going to add some accents and candy.
Oh, good.
Well, I have some sugar cubes,
Okay.
some little stars, and some gum balls, and some little wafer cookies. Okay. So the sugar cubes, you can just place them. We're going to put these little stars up here, and we'll use our frosting as the glue.
Okay.
Just dip it in a little bit. And then maybe some of these gum balls. And over there.
Purple.
So now we're going to create the doors and the windows. And I'm going to use these little wafer cookies. And use 2 for the door. And then I've cut some a little shorter to make for the windows.
Oh, cute.
So I'm going to pipe on some accents. And there you have it.
This looks so gorgeous. Any little girl would love to have this at their party. Look at that.
Thank you.
Oh, but the final touch?
Candles.
Birthday candles. Two more right in the front. And
Perfect.
then you light them up and sing happy birthday. That's so great. This is very girly girl, though. Can you do a boy's castle?
Sure, you can just frost it with chocolate and maybe change the color palette. Use some yellow and blue and red candies. And you can change the wafer cookies to chocolate or vanilla.
Oh, that's a great idea. And put a moat.
Definitely
a
a dragon.
Damsel in distress. I'm trying to think of like a sword. All that
I love
stuff.
it.
I love it too. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I'm Lori Gelman for Howdini.com.
Hi everyone and welcome to Nico's Baby Food. Today we're making a delicious and nutritious banana, apple and pear puree. I've taken over Nico's kitchen, so let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our pear and apple ready. So all I've done is I've peeled a red apple and chopped it up into little quarters, and I've peeled a pear and chopped it up into slices. So in a saucepan I've got some water which is boiling, and on top of that I'm going to place our steamer. Now guys, the reason we're steaming them is because it holds the flavour and the nutrients in the fruit better for the baby. So just leave that to steam for 8 to 10 minutes or until the apples and pears are soft and tender. Into a small bowl I've placed my banana. Now it's nice and ripe and soft, but if your banana's not very soft and ripe, you can put it into the microwave for 10 seconds and that will soften it for you. And then all you have to do is mash it with a fork until it's smooth texture, not too many lumps, otherwise the baby can't swallow it. So you can see guys that that's a nice smooth creamy texture, and that's exactly what you're after. Alright guys, what you're after is this nice soft apple and pear texture, and your fork should just slide straight through it, just like that. What you do guys is put your apple and pear in the same bowl that your banana's in. The next thing you want to do is mash the pear, the apple and bananas all together. So there you have it. Pear, banana and apple puree. It's very easy and very nutritional for the baby and suitable from 4 months onwards. And this is Imogen. She's our official taste tester. She's our daughter. She's 5 months old. I think she likes it, but it's hard to tell. All the ingredients are listed below. You take care and we'll see you next week on Nico's Baby Food.
This is table washing. Show them how to put just a small amount of soap on their hand, rub it together, and rub it on the table. Show them how to use the sponge by cleaning it all up, getting every corner of the table, top, legs, and sides. Show them how to clean the sponge in the water and wring it, clean it, and wring it. And then go over it with the clean sponge. When they're all done with the water, have them use paper towel or a completely dry sponge to dry the table. I am going to dump out my dirty water and throw away my paper towel one at a time.
Wow, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Montessori is the oldest form of early education that is still in use today. It was developed by Maria Montessori, an Italian doctor, in 1907. The basis of Montessori education is the observation of the children as they perform daily activities. After a year-long training, the Montessori teacher will observe children as they interact with one another in their classroom. Through this observation, the teacher can determine the needs of the child, be it socialization, language or math. The teacher hopes to help the child fulfill every human's basic need of independence and respect. The Montessori Children's House of Albert Lea has been at its present location across from the Albert Lea Seed House since it was opened in 1993. At our present location, we are able to run 2 classrooms and a before and after school room. And last year, with the help of volunteers from the community, we were able to establish an organic garden. The back garden, which at one time was an unused alleyway, becomes a hub of activity with children working with the plants, bird watching, quietly sitting listening to the water fountain, or raking in the Japanese garden. The Montessori Children's House of Albert Lea has been serving families of various ethnic backgrounds from the Albert Lea area with children ages between 2.5 and 6 years. While at Montessori, children learn through their interactions with older and younger children, patience, kindness, and the ability to problem solve. They are helped to find the right words to express their feelings and needs, and will oftentimes ring the bell to bring a problem to the attention of their peers. When the children join the Montessori at 2.5, they are helped to become independent with everyday activities such as putting on a coat, and help to learn the importance of hand washing and healthy eating choices. During the 3 years the children are at the Montessori, they are instructed in the areas of math and language, learning through the concrete manipulation of math materials, gaining a clear understanding of quantity. Our goal is to give all children the same opportunities in life, whatever their background or beliefs, so they can develop a true love of learning. When a Montessori child enters first grade in the public schools, he or she not only has a better understanding of math or language, but also on how to function as a respected, confident, hard-working, peaceful member of his or her community. Why do you love Montessori?
My name is Brett, and it's really easy to build stuff here. I like to do the flag work. Hi, my name is Joan. I'm 6 years old, and I just like coming here. I like going to Montessori because that in the afternoon, if you have a brother or a sister, they can come to play with you. I'm Ashley and I'm 6 years old. Hello, I'm Avery and I'm 7 years old, and I like coming here as I like the work.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and I went to Montessori, and I really liked it here because the teachers, they would show us what to do, and then we could do it by ourselves. We didn't have to do it with a group. We could do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted, and I thought that was nice.
Hi, my name is Julia, and I came here when I was about 4, and I like their work because they have some really cool projects.
My name is Sam, and my favorite thing to do here was read, and some books I couldn't get my head on even, and so it was fun.
Hi, my name is Brent, and I came here when I was 2.5, and I like the work here and the projects and the teachers.
Gifting levels. It's easy to make a difference in the life of a child. If you or your organisation would like to partner with the Children's House in creating opportunities for at-risk kids, please consider the following options. Montessori Friend, $25 to $99.
Montessori Supporter, $100 to $499. Montessori Sponsor, $500 to $999. Montessori Partner, $1,000 to $1,999. Montessori Visionary, $2,000 and up. The cost for one child to attend on a daily basis for a full year is approximately $2,250. Payment plans. Gifts may be made in any number of installments determined by you. Sponsorship of employee child. Businesses have the option of directly sponsoring the child of an employee. The Children's House also offers the option of childcare programs to families with a child enrolled in our preschool program. Donations may be made payable to the Children's House Montessori of Albert Lea. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the wonderful Montessori experience you have in your town. I'm sure at least one of you has been touched in some small way by the Montessori school, be it via a neighbour, co-worker or family member. Each year, the Board of Directors raise scholarship money for at-risk children from lower income families. The money you donate will go directly into that fund. Please consider us an investment in the future of your community here in Albert Lea.
From 1st through 3rd grade, Schoolhouse Montessori students pursue accelerated studies, enthralled with the power they have to learn. Their interests evolve as they become adept at researching and reporting, using resources such as encyclopedias, books, and the internet. They learn to question, to compare and contrast, and to assess possible answers. Lessons still occur in small groups, so teachers can tailor learning to each child, whether that is in writing, social studies, drama, or foreign language. Teachers guide students in meaningful, real-life projects, promoting traditional academic skills as well as critical thinking, a philosophical spirit, and leadership. Community service projects develop a belief in giving back and a sensitivity toward helping others. Schoolhouse Montessori students gain a foundation that prepares them well for rigorous academics through college and for a productive role in a truly global society.
Cupcakes are a favorite treat for so many kids and even adults, and this clever and unusual way to serve them will surely bring a smile to anyone who has one. I'm Leif Hansen for Howdini.com and Betty Crocker Kitchens, and I'm going to show you how easy these surprise cupcakes are to make. You'll need some wafer cones, cupcakes, mini cupcakes, frosting, and candy. So let's get started. I'm going to take my cone and fill it with candy. Just about halfway. So now remove the cupcake liner. Take a dollop of frosting and place it on top and spread it evenly. Then invert the cupcake into the cone. Place another dollop of frosting on top of this cupcake. Then take a mini cupcake and invert it right on top. Now it's time to frost our ice cream cone. We want it to look like a soft serve cone. I'm just going to cover the entire surface with frosting. I hold the cone in my hand. I think that's the easiest way. And once we have it all covered, we'll give it a little texture to imitate the soft serve look. So to do that, I'm just going to run my spatula around. The final touch, sprinkles. And there you have your cupcake cone. I'm Leif Hansen for Howdini.com and Betty Crocker Kitchens.
This is one example of lacing. The beginning of the year, we tie the string on whatever they're going to use, just to give them a little bit more control. So. think I've laced all that I want to lace. That was lacing a turn. This is ladling 1-to-1. It's just one example of items that you can use when you're trying to teach the children to use a ladle. And the object of this is just to teach them control of moving one object to the other and finishing what they start. We call this ladling chicks. I'm going to put them back now. I'm all done with this activity. I'm going to put it back on the shelf and get it ready for my friends.
A second common misconception is that Montessori students are subjected to rigid academics at a very young age. Actually, Montessori materials are developmentally arranged, and children move through them at their own pace. A student who cannot hear the sounds in words is not ready to be shown the alphabet. You tell me an animal, and I'll tell you the sounds for that animal's name. Have you got one, Joshua?
Mouse.
Okay, what are the sounds for mouse? Ow. Good job. Okay, have you got one, Michael?
Tiger.
Yeah, what are the sounds for tiger? I, G, All right, another one. McKenna. Giraffe. Can you do the sounds for giraffe? What are the sounds for giraffe? Starts with J, Okay. A student who hears the sound is eager to learn how the sound is written. This is given in a very sensorial manner, involving touch, movement, sight, and sound. Can you find... Practicing the sound is also very active. Can you find I? Okay. Did I forget one? What did we leave by the fish tank? Qua. Nerali, will you get qua? The child who knows the sounds of several letters and who hears the sounds in a word is ready to build the word. Classmates are available to help as needed.
Where is it? I know how to write seven. I know how to spell.
The teacher checks and records. Now you're going to tell me the picture and the sounds, okay?
I have to understand.
Good, okay, and the last one. Very nice. Can you get your paper and get those written? The children who have developed these skills have taught themselves to read. The teacher has been the link to the environment, but the children's own experiences with the materials have left the powerful conviction that they have taught themselves. The power remains with the child, not with others. Many materials are self-correcting and encourage independence. This child has placed single words on pictures and is taking a control card to check his accuracy. He finds and corrects his error independently. Similar materials are available at the sentence level and the story level.
5, 6.
District curriculum materials are integrated into this same structure. When children know how to read, they study their language in depth.
Lissa, can you get me what I want?
These children are working with the function of the adjective.
Did she get the pig for me when I asked? Oh, but Alyssa, that wasn't the pig I wanted. I did want the black pig, but I didn't tell her that. I have to write the extra clue to say which one I wanted. I wanted the black pig.
Now we need to say, since it's on my side, I wanted to write it. Now we know how to
Right. Every time we have a name of a thing, we use this symbol, this big black, what is it?
Symbol.
Pyramid, okay? We're going to put that by every word that tells the name of a thing. Is tub the name of this thing? So we have to put the big black triangle there. And now this one, this is the describing word. This is for the word that tells you which one. All right? Wooden told us which tub. Find a word that described the thing and put a medium blue triangle. Now, I'm going to leave this on the shelf for you, and you will be able to do this just one person, all by yourself. This is your new work, okay?
Teachers strive to give careful presentations calling attention to aspects of the activity which may be challenging. The child then is left to practice independently. When ready, the teacher checks for understanding.
7, and how many units? Good. What was your last one down there? 95. Big number. How many tens? And how many units? 5. Okay, you did all of them correctly, Sonia. That's very nice.
Similar principles are seen in all areas of academics. The math materials include excellent sequenced manipulatives.
So what do you have to do?
Trade.
Okay, what are you trading for?
10.
Give me the 10. What do I have to give you?
1,000.
And the name is?
Oh, here,
100. 100, okay? Ready? I've got the 10. You get the 100.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now I'm going to get the number. 3.
Concrete materials for expanded notation make this work very accessible.
And 4 units. And also 1. Aha!
Okay, Rachel, what was your number? Can you say?
134.
Okay, I'm going to give you your next one. Let's get this one put away.
The simple color coding of the first work will be continued at advanced levels with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division.
Mine is no more light. Stop hitting my Start right here. Start in the end.
These chains are used for skip counting.
I love the chain. Touch me. Not those. It could be 300.
Lessons and materials used in the upper grades at Hammer Montessori follow directly on those introduced at the kindergarten level. These children in second grade are working at an advanced level with the same materials begun in previous years. Hammer Montessori offers an excellent choice for parents in the San Jose Unified School District who seek this high-quality alternative.
As a parent, I chose Montessori because I saw something happening in that classroom that was just magic. Children were working as if it were play, and yet they knew it was work. And I wanted that for my children.
One particular thing is that he's doing cursive writing, and I see him working and working and working on it at home. He is happy about learning, and that's what I really want for him, to be happy about learning.
It's just a quiet self-confidence where she knows she can do this. She can put a coat on when she's 3 years old, or, you know, draw some shapes or water the plants. You know, when she was quite young, she was doing all these different things.
Well, I think they're respected for who they are, each individual little person, and I liked that about it, and I think that that has benefited each and every one of my 4, and I see them kind of blossoming in this environment. It's delightful.
I would say go to a school and observe a Montessori school. You will probably walk away like I did, with saying, this is wonderful. This is what I want for my child.
It doesn't take long to realize a Montessori classroom is different from most other classrooms. The children are actively engaged, working independently. A closer look reveals each child is involved in working with hands-on materials that stimulate all of his or her senses. Materials that communicate complex concepts in a concrete way.
Like, the materials get you interested in because you're doing something and it doesn't make it seem like you're doing work, and you can still have fun while you're learning.
When I learned to tie my shoes, I liked it. I was excited, and I think it worked.
All the materials in a Montessori classroom are organized into one of 5 curriculum areas: practical life, sensorial, language, math, and cultural. Montessori materials are carefully sequenced so that each activity has an orderly and logical process to follow. This allows children to organize their thinking and problem-solving skills in a clear way and to absorb this knowledge through their senses. Small children have many life skills that they need to learn to achieve independence. Respecting a child's desire to be independent is a cornerstone of Montessori philosophy. Children develop a sense of pride when they're able to do things for themselves. Maria Montessori was one of the first educators to recognize that children learn best when they're engaged in hands-on activities. She believed that children need to move freely in their environment and to investigate whatever interests them. For these reasons, Montessori insisted that the classroom be beautiful. Through years of observation, she was able to develop a curriculum that appealed to all of a child's senses. Young children have a natural ability to learn language skills that diminishes as they grow older. Emphasis is placed on learning the sounds each letter makes rather than the alphabet. Throughout the curriculum, children are developing the small motor skills they will need to be a successful writer and the auditory and visual tracking skills necessary for learning to read. Objects and images are used to begin the association between beginning sounds and names. The child learns that snake begins with a S sound, that horse begins with a H sound, or that dog begins with a D sound, and so on. Most adults who were taught in traditional educational settings are fascinated by the power of the Montessori math curriculum. As the child becomes more comfortable with each material, the concept of numbers becomes more and more abstract. Like the language curriculum, when the abstract symbols of numbers are introduced, the child has a deep understanding of what each symbol represents. Any child who has learned math in a Montessori classroom knows the difference between 1,000 and 100 because they have seen the difference and felt it in their hands many times.
They kind of cut it down to the real basics here and help you understand what actually goes on.
As you become more familiar with Montessori materials, you begin to see the elegant philosophy behind how each activity works to build the child's understanding of the world around her. Matching and tracing activities continue to build the child's ability to identify and name individual states, countries within continents, and continents within a world map.
I liked how you could move at your own pace instead of having to work in the same classroom with everyone at the same time.
Each material provides the child with the potential to correct his or her own work, making the process of learning an independent venture. Children often take advantage of their freedom to self-correct by experimenting with all the different ways to do a single activity, satisfying their curiosity about what works and doesn't work and why. Unlike most schools, children are allowed to continue with their work as long as they want to. Over a few days of observation, we may notice a child repeating the same activity many times. Children decide for themselves what activity interests them and naturally repeat that activity until they are ready to move on. Children develop a readiness to grasp abstract concepts at different ages. Montessori teachers follow the child's own sense of what they are ready to learn. In their primary role as observers of the child's progress, they present materials when the child is ready to take on new work. Through this freedom, the child becomes more comfortable, taking the time to contemplate all aspects of an activity: the feel, the visual appearance, the sound of the materials, even the smell. This curiosity to explore the sensual world around them is part of what makes learning fun. The children enjoy the process over the product. Part of becoming independent learners is taking responsibility for themselves and the classroom environment. Each child learns to take responsibility for their own belongings and to master the skills of taking care of him or herself. Children also feel secure in the knowledge that they can find the materials they wish to work with neatly stored in a particular spot in the classroom. They are in turn responsible to put the materials back where they found them, and to clean up after themselves.
We're taught at an early age, in 3 to 6, that sharing and being kind to one another is the right thing to do, to care about other people.
What about boredom talk, I want to do it.
Yeah, you'll go next.
If another child is using the materials a child is interested in, he or she learns to wait patiently, respecting the rights of others.
And now can I do it?
Unlike most educational environments, children are able to enjoy the learning process without competitive pressures. Each child begins at his or her own level and progresses at his or her own pace. Each member of the community is welcomed and shares in the responsibilities and pleasures of learning.
And there is this love of learning. The children are turned on because they are successful. They understand it. They see it. It makes sense. It's beautiful. And they want to do it. And they're not doing it for anyone else other than themselves. When Maria Montessori first sat down and envisioned this, and it's coming about hopefully full circle, especially now that it's in the public schools, that it's good for everyone. It's a way, it's holistic, it's environmental. It really hits everything that, as human beings, we would want our world to be.
Sometimes I feel that my enthusiasm and respect for the Montessori method is a little unrealistic to some people, but it's really simple. The method works. It just works.
These are called the red rods. This is great for the children to decipher between sizes as well as problem solving. Always hold the ends and carry it with great care. as the children are carrying these, they quickly realize when they get to the larger ones how difficult it is to hold the ends. It really helps them decipher that it's much larger when they can't reach the end. Ooh. I'm going to start with the largest rod. Oops. Now I have put all the red rods in order by size. Now I'm going to put them away. Always put them away opposite the way you took them out. So you would put the largest one away first. And that is the red